The sun was shining brightly over the city of Abeokuta, reflecting off the shiny bonnets of the many cars parked inside Adeolu's big motor dealership. Adeolu was a man of means. If you wanted a car, be it a small one or a big jeep, Adeolu was the man to see. But as big as he was in the city, at home, he was like a small boy before his elder sister, Iyanu. Adeolu walked into his mansion, tired from the day's work. The smell of delicious ofada rice and spicy stew hit his nose immediately. Iyanu, Iyanu, my mother, I am home. Adeolu called out, dropping his car keys on the glass table. Iyanu came out of the kitchen, wiping her hands with a napkin. She didn't look like a woman who was aging. She looked like a woman in charge. She had never married, choosing instead to carry Adeolu on her back since their parents died when he was just a little boy. "My son, you are back?" Iyanu said with a wide smile. "Sit down. Don't even move a muscle. I have prepared your favorites. The water for your bath is already warm. Sister, you do too much," Adeolu said, sinking into the sofa. "Why don't you let me hire even one small girl, just a maid to be helping you with the sweeping and the washing? This house is too big for only you." Iyanu's face changed instantly. She snapped her fingers and tucked her hands under her chest. "Maid? Adeolu, did I hear you correctly? So, you want a stranger to come into this house and start touching your clothes? You want a girl that I don't know to be the one cooking the food that goes into your stomach?" "No, sister, it's not like that," Adeolu tried to explain. "Then it is like what?" Iyanu raised her voice, her eyes wide. "Have I complained to you? Since our mother and father left us, did any maid help me to wash your school uniform? Did any maid help me to hawk pepper so that you could go to university? Now that God has blessed you, you want to bring a third party between us?" Adeolu quickly stood up and held his sister's hands. He couldn't stand to see her upset. "Sister, please, I am sorry. I was only thinking of your strength. You are my mother, my father, and my everything. Anything you say is final." Iyanu relaxed her shoulders and patted his cheek. "Good. As long as I am alive, no other woman will rule this kitchen. I know what you like. I know when you are hungry, even before you open your mouth. I know the rhythm of your heart, Adeolu. I know, sister. I don't know what I would do without you," Adeolu said truthfully. "You won't have to find out," Iyanu whispered, her voice firm. "Now, go and wash your hands. The food is getting cold, and you know I don't like it when you eat cold food. Move." Adeolu laughed and headed for the dining table. He didn't argue. He never argued. In his mind, Iyanu was a saint. But in the neighborhood, people were starting to whisper. They wondered why a man of 35 still had his sister washing his underwear and deciding what he ate every single day. As Adeolu sat down to eat, Iyanu stood behind him, watching him like a hawk. She picked a piece of lint off his shirt and smiled. "Eat, my king," she said. "Eat and let the world know that Iyanu is taking care of her own." The following week, the atmosphere at Adeolu's motor dealership was heavy. Adeolu sat in his office, staring at the luxury cars outside, but his mind was far away. He was 35, wealthy and successful, but his house felt like a golden cage. "Am I going to be alone forever?" he whispered to himself. He remembered what Iyanu always told him. "Adeolu, these girls of nowadays are like locusts. They will eat your money, finish your bank accounts, and run away with the next man. Stay with me. I am the only one who truly loves you." But his friend Ezekiel had told him otherwise. "Adeolu, you cannot marry your sister. Look at Moji. She is beautiful, she is smart, and she has her own life. So, Adeolu took a bold step. He started seeing Moji. She was a brilliant accountant, soft-spoken but firm. Finally, the day came for the big introduction. Adeolu, he led Moji into the dining room for dinner. Iyanu was already seated, her hands folded over her chest like a judge in a courtroom. She didn't stand up to greet them. She only squinted her eyes at Moji's high heels and her neat suit. "Sister, this is Moji, the lady I told you about," Adeolu said, his voice shaking slightly. Sit down," Iyanu said coldly. The dinner started in a terrifying silence. Only the sound of spoons hitting plates could be heard. Finally, Iyanu dropped her fork with a loud clatter. "So, you," Iyanu pointed her finger at Moji. "My brother said you work in a big office. What is it you do exactly?" Moji smiled politely. "I am a senior financial auditor, ma. It's a very demanding role, but I love it. I travel quite a bit for—" "Stop right there!" Iyanu screamed, jumping to her feet. The chair scraped against the floor like a gunshot. "I knew it! I smelled the pride on you the moment you walked in. A career woman? You want to be auditing books when you should be auditing the kitchen? You can never be a good wife." Adeolu turned pale. "Sister, please. She is my guest. Don't embarrass her like this." Iyanu turned on Adeolu like a lioness, her eyes flashing. "Shut up, Adeolu. Keep quiet. Are you blind? Can't you see she is not good for you? This one will not cook for you. She will not wash your clothes. She will be telling you she has a meeting while you are hungry." She turned back to Moji, poking her finger in the air. "You, I don't want to ever see you with my brother again. Carry your bags and your career and get out of this house, now." Moji's face turned red with shame and anger. She slowly stood up, packed her handbag, and walked toward the door. "Moji! Moji! Please wait!" Adeolu cried out, rushing after her. He caught her by the arm at the front door. "Moji, I am so sorry. She's just protective." Moji swung her hand and slapped his arm away. Her eyes were full of fire. "Protective? Adeolu, you are a man-child. You are 35 years old and you let your sister bark at your guests like a mad dog? Go to hell, Adeolu. Go to hell and stay there with her." She slammed the door in his face. Adeolu stood there for a moment, shaking. He turned around and stormed back into the dining room. Iyanu was calmly sitting down again, picking up a piece of meat as if nothing had happened. "Sister, what is the meaning of this?" Adeolu roared. "You just insulted the woman I love. You disgraced me in my own house. Why must you treat every woman like an enemy?" Iyanu didn't even look up. She chewed the meat slowly before replying bluntly. "I don't like that girl, Adeolu. And I don't need a reason. She's going to steal you away from me. She will put ideas in your head. She will tell you to put me in a face me, I face you apartment while she enjoys your wealth. She's an accountant. She has her own money," Adeolu shouted. "And she will use that money to buy your senses," Iyanu shouted back, standing up to match his height. "Adeolu, look at me. I sacrificed my youth for you. I stayed single so you could be a king. Now, you want to bring a senior auditor to come and push me out over my dead body. Is this how we are going to live?" Adeolu asked, tears of frustration in his eyes. "We will live in peace as long as you listen to me," Iyanu said, her voice turning sweet and manipulative again. "I have made fresh juice for you. Forget that girl. She was too skinny anyway." Adeolu sank into the chair. his head in his hands. After the disaster with Moji, Adeolu's heart was like a dry desert. But God has a way of bringing rain. One sunny afternoon at the supermarket, Adeolu bumped into a lady named Sun. Sun was different. She was soft, kind, and her smile could melt butter. Their friendship clicked like a key in a lock, and soon love started to bloom. Adeolu decided to try one more time. He brought Seun home to meet Iyanu. This time, Iyanu was as cold as ice, but she wore a fake smile. "Welcome, my daughter," she said, though her eyes were not smiling. As soon as she reached her bedroom that night, Iyanu locked the door and began to pace up and down. She was breathing like a tired engine. This boy has brought another girl," she hissed to the empty room. "No, no, 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 I will not allow this. They want to send me away from my brother's house. After all my suffering, after I used my youth to carry him, no, it will not work. We shall see." The next morning, the sun was just rising when Iyanu peeped through her door. She sniffed the air. The sweet aroma of fried eggs and plantain was drifting from the kitchen. She knew immediately Seun was in there cooking. Iyanu hid behind the pillar, waiting. As soon as Seun carried a tray of tea upstairs to Adeolu, Iyanu sneaked into the kitchen like a shadow. She grabbed the salt container, opened the lid, and poured a whole cup of salt into the stew. She stirred it quickly, her face twisting with a wicked grin. "Oya, let us see who is the best cook," she whispered before vanishing. At the dining table, Seun served the food with a proud smile. "I hope you enjoy it, Sister Iyanu. I made it specially for you." Iyanu took a big spoonful. Immediately, the taste hit her tongue. She didn't just spit it out, she performed. My head, my stomach," Iyanu screamed, jumping up from her chair. "So, this is how you want to kill my brother for me? You want to use salt and poison to send him to an early grave?" Seun's eyes widened in disbelief. Her heart started to race. "Ma, what are you talking about? I just cooked it now." "Shut up, evil girl. Taste it. Taste your handiwork," Iyanu roared. Seun quickly took a bite. Adeolu, confused, also took a large spoonful of the stew. Immediately, they both turned red. It was as if they had swallowed a bag of sea salt. They rushed to the sink, coughing and spitting out the food. Iyanu picked up the plate of food and threw it straight at Seun. The stew splashed all over Seun's beautiful dress. "Get out! Get out of this house before I call the police for you. Attempted murderer," Iyanu yelled, her voice shaking the whole building. Adeolu stood there, dumbfounded, wiping his mouth with a napkin. He couldn't believe his eyes. He looked at the salt-drenched food and then at his sobbing sister. Iyanu turned to him, pointing her finger at his chest. You see your life? When I told you all these small girls are dangerous, you thought I was capping, Abi. You thought I was just talking. This one wants to give you hypertension and heart failure so she can inherit your motor company. Adeolu, look at me. Is this the wife you want?" Seun was crying, her voice trembling. "Adeolu, I swear, I didn't put that much salt. I don't know what happened." "Save your lies for the devil," Iyanu barked. "Adeolu, if this girl stays here one more minute, just know that you have buried your sister." Adeolu looked at Seun, then at the dramatic Iyanu, who was now fainting on the sofa. He felt weak. He couldn't fight his mother. "Soon, please," Adeolu said, his voice low and full of shame. Just go. I can't do this right now. Please, leave. Soon looked at him with total heartbreak. She didn't say another word. She wiped her face, carried her bag, and ran out of the house into the street. Iyanu sat up immediately the door closed, a small victorious smirk playing on her lips. Don't worry, my son. Your mother is here. I will cook you a fresh meal, a meal that won't kill you. Adeolu just sat there, staring at the salt on the floor, feeling more alone than ever. History was repeating itself like a bad dream. After Seun left, Adeolu tried one more time with a lady named Dupe. Dupe was a quiet, God-fearing girl who barely spoke above a whisper. But Iyanu did not care if she was an angel from heaven. As long as she was a woman, she was an enemy. One afternoon, while Dupe was in the parlor reading a magazine, Iyanu sneaked into Adeolu's room. She opened her gold jewelry box, took out her most expensive heavy gold necklace, and ran to the guest room. She tucked it deep inside Dupe's handbag, right under her makeup kit. 5 minutes later, the house was on fire. My gold necklace is gone. Iyanu started screaming from upstairs, running down the steps like she was being chased by a ghost. Adeolu! Adeolu! Come and see, oh! My father's inheritance has vanished. Adeolu rushed out of his study, confused. Sister, what is it? Maybe you misplaced it. Misplaced what? Iyanu turned to Dupe, who was standing up in shock. You, give me my bag. You have the hands of a thief. I saw you looking at my neck since you entered this house. Ma, I don't understand. I didn't touch anything, Dupe cried, her hands shaking. Iyanu snatched the bag from the chair and turned it upside down. The heavy gold necklace fell onto the marble floor, shining brightly. Thief! Ooh! Thief! Iyanu clapped her hands in Dupe's face. Naso, you want to be carrying my brother's property, one after the other? You start with gold. Tomorrow you will steal the documents of his cars. And next week you will sell the house. Adeolu, look at your God-fearing wife. Adeolu felt a hot wave of shame and anger. He looked at Dupe, who was weeping. Dupe, how could you? After everything? Adeolu, I didn't do it. I swear on my life. Shut up! Adeolu roared, his heart breaking. Leave this house now before I call the police and they march you to the station. Just go. After Dupe ran out in tears, Adeolu didn't stay to hear Iyanu's "I told you so." He jumped into his car and drove straight to his friend Ezekiel's office. He threw himself into a chair, looking like a man who had been beaten by the rain. Ezekiel, I am finished, Adeolu groaned. Every woman I bring is either a killer, a salt loader, or a thief. Maybe my sister is right. Maybe I am cursed. Ezekiel looked at his friend with pity. He shook his head and dropped his pen. Adeolu, my friend, are you not seeing it? Are you not seeing that your sister is the problem here? My sister, but she was the one who found the jewelry in the bag. Adeolu, open your eyes, Ezekiel shouted. No breathing space, nothing. Your house is like a prison. Your sister is playing a game to keep you single so she can remain the boss of your life. See, the best thing you can do now to save yourself from all these problems is this. Call your sister. Tell her you want to rent a house for her. Adeolu gasped. Move her out? She will kill me. Don't go with anger or Ezekiel warned, leaning in. Talk to her with love. Tell her she needs her own space to be a big madam, that she has worked too hard and deserves her own palace. If you don't do this, Adeolu, You will grow old and grey with only your sister to hold your hand. Adeolu sat in silence for a long time. He nodded slowly. You are right. I have to do it. For my own life. He thanked Ezekiel and drove back home. His mind made up. He was going to have the talk with Iyanu. Adeolu walked into the house with a heavy heart. He saw Iyanu sitting in her usual spot, already peeling yams for dinner. He took a deep breath, remembered Ezekiel's advice, and sat beside her. Sister, he started softly, I have been thinking, you have worked so hard for me. Since our parents died, you haven't rested. I want to honor you. I want to rent a very big house for you. A palace fit for a queen, where you can have your own space and be the big madam of your own home. The knife in Iyanu's hand dropped with a loud thud. She turned slowly, her eyes becoming red and wide. My own space? She whispered. Then, like a volcano, she erupted. She jumped up from the stool. You are an ingrate, a wicked, heartless brother. Sister, please, listen to me. Listen to what? Iyanu yelled, her voice echoing through the whole mansion. After all I have done for you, after I sacrificed my youth, my happiness, and my chance to marry just so you could become a big man, now that you have arrived, you want to throw me out like a dustbin. You want to discard me like a piece of used tissue paper. It's not throwing you out, sister. I just want you to have your own. Shut up, she screamed, pointing a shaky finger at him. Oya, come and throw me out. Come and carry me like a load and put me on the street. Neighbors, come and see. Adeolu has grown wings. He wants to push his mother's sister into the gutter because of the girls he's meeting in the supermarket. Before Adeolu could move, Iyanu threw herself on the marble floor. She began to roll from left to right, her hair disheveled, dust from the floor staining her clothes. My mother in heaven, come and see your son, she wailed, hitting her palms on the ground. Adeolu, you will throw me out today. You must kill me first. I am not moving 1 inch. If you want me to leave, you will have to carry my dead body out of this house. Adeolu stood up, looking at his sister, feeling completely helpless. His heart was racing. He looked at the woman who had raised him, now rolling on the floor like someone who had lost her mind. Sister, please stop this, Adeolu begged, his voice trembling. People will hear you. I am not a wicked person. I just thought... You thought wrong. Iyanu backed from the floor, stopping her rolling for a second to glare at him before starting again. Wicked boy. After I used my last kobo to pay your school fees. Now you have motor, you have money, and I am now a burden. God will judge you, Adeolu. Oh yeah, carry me. Throw me out now. Adeolu stepped back, his hands over his head. He was trapped. He wanted to be a man, but the guilt was like a heavy chain around his neck. Hey besties, do you think Adeolu will continue living his life like this? Let's watch out for part 2. Please, if you found this story interesting, please drop your comments in the comment section. I will be glad to go through them. Please subscribe to our channel and watch out for more sweet and interesting stories. Bye!